Yes, my people, welcome back. Incognito Reacts, TT,
PH.
Obviously I'm A.
come on,
And S.
yes sir. Back for another lit podcast.
Let's start that again. Sorry bro.
You know you could have edited that.
Yeah. No,
It was blessed. It was blessed for you. Yes, my people, welcome back. Incognito Podcast, TT,
PH.
A.
And I'm S.
come on. And we're back again for another lit podcast.
As
you
per
know what I'm
usual.
saying? Yeah, man, we also got a reaction channel running out of time. Link will be in the bio, go check that. You know what I'm saying? It's going up. The same with this channel got road to 1K, like,
Run
comment,
that shit.
subscribe. For real.
Make sure you do.
But yeah, man, what you man saying though? How's everyone feeling?
Ah, yeah, man. Weather's too hot right now.
Still nice, though. Make sure you get
5
sun.
degrees.
Crazy.
Make sure you enjoy it while it's still here if you're in the UK, you know what I'm saying?
Can't wait for winter, man.
That's the winter. Allow it. No winter around here. No winter around here. Summer only.
Winter drip is the best. You got me.
Yeah, in terms of drip. In terms of drip, but the weather, innit? Vibes, summer. Come on, you can't go wrong with summer. The vibes
So
are
what is there to do?
immaculate.
Actually, there is.
There's a lot of
So it's a
There's a lot of
freedom now, innit? July 19th, do what you want. But you
Fair
guys, if you prefer winter or summer, drip, let us know in the comments, you know what I'm saying?
Can't lie, both of them are got their advantages.
Yes.
Bro, summer drip is just shorts, man. Shorts.
That
Shorts.
Sure,
That's
summer.
it.
Yeah.
You can't wear jeans in summer.
Hey, in the night.
You can't.
Night.
You can't wear jeans.
Yeah, but
I swear you can wear some light
I'm
trackers.
talking about a drip you're gonna wear throughout the day.
Yeah,
You can wear jeans, but it has to be ripped in so
Yeah.
it can come in.
Even if
You
they're
need that circulation
That's
there.
Yeah, conditioner.
I think.
Yeah, it's
Nah,
gonna be
man.
tight, isn't it?
No, not even, bro.
It's
Just
gonna be mad sticky, fam.
no, not even. It's the ones you know what on your knees. The ones where you got your knees and then maybe a bit on the cars and that, and then you let's say a bit of air. Like nothing serious, bro. It doesn't have to be
A
big.
knows, A knows.
So in the UK, the air is disgusting. when
Yeah,
it's
but he's too humid. Like you can't breathe.
This guy, you never hear him say anything good about the UK.
hot. Nah,
It's probably the
I
same.
love the UK.
You might stay tuned to find out, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, we're gonna say you love the UK.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
It's got its pros and cons, innit?
Okay,
That's
so
what I'm
everything.
saying.
But yeah, so the topic for today is, you man guessing?
We supposed to get
These
some,
man,
they
these
supposed to
man.
get. We know it.
We know it.
Come on,
We
man.
know the topic.
Don't try.
Cut
Don't try to
this-
be
cut this
fake.
shit
This
out.
shit ain't getting cut off.
Come on, we
Cut
know.
this shit out.
Come on.
So yeah, the topic for today is, did our elders misguide us or just teach us what they know?
Guide
Who's
us.
trying to go for
What
it?
he said, did they guide us on
Lead
purpose,
us.
like intentionally?
Purposely, yeah. You mean purposely, right?
Yeah, like lead us down the wrong path.
Purposely. I don't think
Let's not put purpose.
there's different contexts and different situations. I think there are parents that, of course, they like their kids, and in that case, they didn't put as much effort into educating them the right way. But then there are parents that only knew a certain lifestyle and didn't have the chance to be educated, so therefore they basically passed on what they knew to their
I hear what you're saying, but when I even say elders, I'm talking about the older
The ends and shit.
Yeah, the ends. Just older
Oh, you
people
mean-
that used to look up to.
or
like
like not
parents.
related to you.
Like
Yeah, not related to you.
even related, you know?
Yeah, I'm just talking.
Yeah, I could include
That's what I'm saying. Right now, I'm speaking of parents.
Mm.
Some parents don't know better, innit? So they'll just teach you what they know.
I don't think
Yeah, that makes sense to the African parents and that, but now I'm talking about the
Why
elders.
African parents? What are you getting onto?
It's true though, most of them what? Lawyer, engineer, doctor.
That's
like,
good though.
Yeah, that's not.
That's not misguided.
It's understandable because
It's not misguiding, but it's not open-minded to the new concepts. Like,
Yeah, but that's
In a way,
that's
that's
their generation, you know what I mean?
exactly, and in a way, that's even better because when you think of black celebrities or not celebrities, but famous black people, most of them are in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
None of them is known for being a doctor or a big lawyer, or except for Obama, who was president.
yeah.
But other than that, black people are more pushed towards the entertainment
Rap or
industry
athlete.
yeah. So our traditional parents trying to push us towards the path of more.
That's because that's all they need, education.
Yeah.
Right? Coming from back home.
Yeah.
They came here for a better life for us, innit?
My point
And
is,
all they
that's
knew
not
was
bad.
education, innit?
Yeah.
Like, go to uni, be a doctor,
It makes
whatever.
sense. It makes sense that what you man say makes sense, but I still feel like it's a bad thing because, of course, they teach us what they know, but at the same
But
time,
what should they? What do you expect?
this is the new age, innit? Like they need to adapt to the new time, so try to familiarize themselves with new careers.
But
Like
when we were
YouTube,
When we were young, how long was it? This is like,
Investing
say
in
10 years
business.
ago. When we were young, that's 10 years ago, right? How- A lot has changed since then.
Exactly.
so are you saying it's not their job to educate themselves?
No, but
Time,
look,
yeah.
back in the day, entrepreneurial activities weren't as famous as they are now.
Exactly.
No one talked about opening a business and this and that. That's some stuff that's been promoted more nowadays than it's ever been before. So back in the day, the safest way of living comfortably was to get a job. And the highest paid job would being a doctor, being an engineer,
exactly.
and that. So of course your parents wanting the
Because
best
that's
for
what-
you.
They were probably taught that from their parents. You know what I mean?
More time.
It's passed down. It's passed down.
More
So
time.
yeah,
I
go
was
ahead.
gonna say, more time, yeah, you might, obviously, yeah, those are the most comfortable jobs. Obviously, you're living good, you're getting paid well, and you've got a good lifestyle, but also it's those type of jobs which have a huge benefit to society.
Exactly.
Like, contribute to society in say in a bigger way, on a bigger scale. For example, being an engineer, for example, structural engineering, you're building buildings, homes, all of that stuff. Doctor, you're investing in medicine, people's health, like you're contributing to society.
Life
positively.
changing.
In contrast to black people in the entertainment industry, yeah, they contribute to society, like they're entertaining people.
Well, we could live without them
Do
basically.
you know what I'm saying? Like we don't need them in the sense that
Yeah.
what we need is our doctors, for our health. We need the engineers for the builders, like contributing positive to society, helping society to build for generations to come.
So
So
I
that's
think
what I believe they will.
even now more than ever, you will need like cardiac doctors, especially. You know how you always hear about nurses and shit always mistreat black patients because they believe their pain threshold is higher, and naturally they have a higher pain threshold and shit like that.
Because that's the thing, we've got
That's so
enough entertainers, bro, but we ain't got enough of these doctors and bro. How many
You
black
said
doctors?
something. You
How many
said
black doctors have you met in your life? Be honest.
that's a good.
Oh, they're not being
So-
bigged up. I think there's a lot, but they just ain't being bigged up as you
It's
would
only
see.
the
Maybe,
athletes or
but have
celebrities
you ever
that
met
picked
one?
up.
Well, yeah, I know.
A black doctor?
doctors, yeah.
In the
Do
UK,
you know a lot?
Personally.
Do you know a lot though? When
No,
you just
no.
go on a random appointment to a doctor
Yeah, it's
or
Asian.
generalist, what are the chances of you meeting
Of
a
course,
black
yeah.
doctor?
Very unlikely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I think what you're saying is that what's wrong with parents what's wrong is parents that force their kids to do a certain thing. You know? They should advise them to like towards a certain career or path or lifestyle, but they shouldn't force
Facts.
their desires onto
Oh,
their
yeah,
kids.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying about the open minded. Well, just to track back a bit, you said something about humans can live without entertainment. I don't want to agree with him. I feel like even back in the day, there was always a source of entertainment for them. I feel like entertainment is it's oftentimes overlooked, but it's actually part of everyday life.
But at the same time, entertainment is also a huge distraction because when we go back to other countries, for example, third world countries, let's say, like for example, what do they say? It's not really a third world country.
Yes.
So like it's starting to develop more
Yeah.
nowadays. You know what I'm saying? But look at places like India, for example. Their education, obviously, their children, they're very intelligent. But it's not because they're intelligent. It's because like gifted with all this knowledge. It's because they work hard. They spend that time. They're focused.
They're not distracted.
Exactly, they've got less distraction, therefore they're spending more time on, building the community, building their country. Now India's starting to build itself up, do you know what I'm saying? Whereas here in the UK, obviously we're established, the UK is obviously first world country.
Complacent.
You know what I'm saying? Now people become complacent. When people become complacent and get comfortable, they start to regress, do you know what I'm saying? They don't progress, they regress. So that's why I think this is what they're trying to do. That obviously for now, yeah, we're reaping the rewards and we're good, we're comfortable for now. But for later generations' sake and for the sake of legacy, you need to be something yourself. You need to build yourself up because how do we even get to this situation? How do we get to a place where we have buildings, lights, heating,
Generations.
you know what I'm saying? Previous generations, put in the work, they applied themselves in and
I feel like if this keeps going on, and like you said, countries like the UK and America and France and countries that are already established, if in those countries most of the young population is distracted by social media and whatnot, eventually I feel like third world countries are going to overtake them in a way. Like for example, China, which is on its way to being one of the basically part of the world power.
Even India, like
exactly.
In a few years, they're going to be there as well.
While established countries will be full of adults that don't have any applicable knowledge. Because, like you said, we're so distracted. We're thinking about stuff that doesn't really matter in a way. Innit? Of course, there are people that are still able to focus, but majority of people in our age group, especially, are not really interested by things that matter.
Yeah, or even the younger generation, because even in terms of attention span, I don't know the stats, but I think as the younger generation goes, attention span is lower.
It's very
like kids can't really sit still and just concentrate on one thing. They get distracted, move here and there. So, in a nutshell, you guys saying that, starting off with parents, are you saying with parents that they ain't misguiding us? They're just teaching us what they know, and there's nothing wrong with that, as long as they don't force their agenda onto the kids.
Say for example,
I agree though.
if your parents want you to go to university, that's okay. They shouldn't force you to do a certain degree, but they can tell you, okay, I want you to go to university. Unless if you don't have a backup plan, there's no harm in them saying go to university. I don't see.
So in a way, you're saying like they shouldn't force you to live their own dream.
Yeah,
I feel like certain parents do that. Like,
they should guide you. They shouldn't mold you, but they should guide you. You know what I mean? Like go to university, etc.
Yes, you know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of parents, for example, say if they secretly wanted to be a doctor, they couldn't make it.
You have to be a doctor.
I'm forcing their kids. That's toxic, man.
I'm doing the same shit. I couldn't.
Yeah, that's toxic.
My son's becoming
Project
Mbappe. He's becoming footballer now. Fools. He's gonna live my dream. He's living my dream.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well,
VH.
I was going to say, going back to your point about entertainment being, like us not being able to live without entertainment, I don't think that's, I disagree with that, because
How?
could you not live without your phone and TV? That's
Same
basically
thing.
that's not, I'm not talking about natural entertainment, innit?
You
Like,
can't distinguish that.
No, but he was talking about black entertainment.
Entertainment.
no.
Getting fresh out
I'm
of
not talking
Bangalore,
about-
that's still entertainment.
I'm not talking about that.
He's talking about
kind
the
of
online
entertainment.
thing, basically.
Because we were talking,
You have to be
nah,
specific, innit?
that's what I'm being now, innit? But what I was saying is, black entertainers and stuff, most of them are rappers, athletes and stuff that we watch on TV.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know about them rappers if you didn't have a phone or if you didn't watch TV. But you still be able to be entertained by
Of course, Bangalore.
exactly playing football, playing with your siblings, and more time even like those kind of entertainments are even healthier for you.
Of course, natural is always the best.
Exactly.
That's the best.
So
touching on your point,
Health.
is that when I speak to the older generations, or the parents' ages, all that stuff, the aunts and uncles, one of them said to me that because of all this social media, people connect to each other, it's so easy from one side of the world to the other. The world has just become one big village. Like,
Explain that.
for example, I'm from the UK, I can know what's going on in Australia right now, for real honesty.
Yeah.
Like, for the touch of a button on this phone, you know what I'm saying? I can know what's going on. Or say Japan or America. Like, you just know what's going on in them places. For the most part, you know what's happening now. And a lot more people are now connected, now more than ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I really wanted to, I could build up my social media platform to a higher number just by doing something a bit unique. That's it. Like, and a lot of people can just tune in and just watch me, like, from different parts of the world. So, like, and especially back in their generation, phones weren't really like a big thing back then. Yeah, they had telephones, but social media was obviously non-existent, and they didn't really know much. They had to, if they wanted to see the world, they had to explore it. They had to go out there themselves just to see it for themselves. Now, I can just see the Arctic from my phone.
It kind of makes you more lazy, innit?
Yeah, I can see space. I can see different places from my phone.
Less
I wanted to go out there and explore.
inquisitive.
Trying to go out there like Jeff Bezos,
Huh?
Trying to go out there like Jeff Bezos.
Hey, if you want to see A in space, comment down below.
Yeah, the tickets are cheap, 28 million.
100,000 likes, 30,000 comments, and we'll send A to space again. But, now you might make good points. Okay, now when it comes to our orders on the block, Same question. Did they misguide us or teach us what they know? And I will start with this one first, innit? So I feel like with the elders, they're just teaching us what they know, because like you see how there's always someone here that's like a failure in life, but they tell you as a young person, oh, this is how you be successful, you should do this. I respect the elders more because they're transparent, innit? They didn't sell us a dream or try to tell us, oh, go to school and be a doctor as if they did it. They just took you under your wing and showed you what they know best.
No, but
So-
some elders take advantage of the youths.
Or sending them country.
Exactly. Because they don't really care about the youths like that.
That's true.
Of course, there are some
That's
elders.
good. Yeah, that's good.
There are some elders that are gonna try and teach the younger generation good things and good values and good morals, but there's also some elders that are gonna take advantage of them and try and make money of them in a way.
Yeah, cool. Well, how about the stubborn teen that keeps coming back to the block and the elders tell him, nah, go on school, stay at school. But the guy's like, no, I'm trying to be like you, I wanna make money, I wanna make da-da-da-da. If he keeps coming back to you persistent, and like, damn, this guy could be a good fit. Are you wrong? Are you wrong now for putting him under your
Yeah,
wing?
you are wrong.
And I'll explain how. Because at the end of the day, it's like
you wanted the best for him, right? That's why these elders, you know that stubborn teenage thing he's talking about right now? They were telling him what, stay in school, etc. Because they cared about him. So what changed all of a sudden? Just because he's persistent with it, you should just let him in again. No, man, like, if you know it's wrong, you know what it's done to you, you know what it could do to him, why would you let him in?
Yes.
With time, you understand, you know what I mean?
Let's just speak in facts, we'll take notes. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with
But you can even tell him how, like, all this quick money is temporary, you know what I mean? Money comes and goes so quick. Yeah, you see people driving these flashy cars, etc.
All the girls and
Exactly, but what happens when you get stopped with kilos on you? That's
It's
it, your
back,
life is done.
Facts,
10 years
facts,
to get
facts, 10
sentenced.
years.
when you're that age, you don't think of the consequences. You just look at the flash, like you look at
Facts.
what's like. You see the olders reaping the rewards. That's the thing about people in general, especially the youth. They don't
It's the
They don't
gratification.
listen, you know what I'm saying? They go by example. So whatever you're doing, they'll, you know what I'm saying, they want to carry. They want to be like, I say this, that. Especially when you're young, yeah, instant gratification is a huge thing because the man's not developed to understand delayed gratification.
Facts.
Because with instant gratification, a lot of the time comes consequences. For example, if we're talking the bigger scale, yeah, like getting pulled over and you might have something on you, like might have a little free fare, I don't know, anything on you. Little free fare, little, don't know, but you're trying to re-up, that's it, you're bagged, you're in pen, or if you're going on a glide and you're doing a mad thing, you're obviously going to be carrying something and then you're getting, that's it, like, if friends catch you, you're done.
Facts.
And obviously, all they care about is just the thrill. As a kid, like, obviously, they just want to chase the thrill because that's all they know. Whereas when you're older,
100%.
you've got that mindset, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially 25 and over, where your frontal lobe is now developed, you understand right and wrong and the consequences of your actions. So, and for you to just tell a kid, yeah, do this and that, you're taking advantage of the fact that their mind isn't developed and they don't know much about life yet and the consequences. So, it's the elders do play a part, 100%. I do agree. Like the things that they do, the people, like the kids are watching it, and it's difficult. Like it's hard. You just think to yourself, I'm just doing me. Like, why do I have to do? For example, celebrities when they do a madness, everyone's going crazy, and they're thinking, what? I'm doing my own thing. What do these men want?
Whether you like it or not, you're a role model for some people, whether you like it or not.
You're always a role model. So I say that. So it's a thing. It's difficult. It's hard, definitely. And you know what I'm saying. I'm not God. Thank God I'm not in their shoes. But those with like fame and a lot of like influence, they need to be more conscious of like the fact that they're being watched. Even though it's much more difficult, but it's like, you know what I'm saying, like it can't be helped.
But back to the orders though. So, what do you now do or say to the kid that is still persistent?
You have to show, you know, it is
That wants to get some keys. He wants to start selling tomorrow.
You know, if he sees you doing a mad
I
thing,
see it both ways, isn't it?
no, but if he sees you doing a mad thing, then of course the kid's gonna be on it as well. That's the
But the owner's already in the streets. He knows nothing else, and he can't get out. So that's his reality. So So I'm saying in that case where
What can you tell the kids?
That's why his
What
parents
do you
need to
do?
come in place as well. Because if he's able to go to the oldest to,
so the parents need to
as
step
the,
up.
get me, it's a cycle, isn't it?
The thing is, a lot of parents don't know the shit's happening though.
So I'm saying
So
parents,
easy,
man, you need
that's
to
what I'm saying,
be
it's-
more aware of your
It's
kids.
contextual and like it's a cycle.
These
innit?
days it's so easy to hide shit from your parents. It's so easy, you know what I mean?
For our parents' generation, it's easy to hide
So
stuff.
easy.
to hide shit.
Because they never experienced the shit here, you know what I mean? Obviously you might see it here and there, but they don't know.
Yeah, there's only so
So
much
easy to
your
live.
parents
How
can
many
do.
people do you know that live double lives?
So many.
You know what I mean?
Especially them church girls. We won't get into that. I won't drag my sisters on the bus today, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's a big shout to the parents though. Like the good parents that I know you're out there trying to provide, but it's deeper than money as well. Make sure that you understand your kids. You also know who they chill with. Like understand them in it because yeah, when you're not at home, you look to the elders. They're around the elders.
Yeah.
And who knows what they're discussing or what's going on? So yeah, make sure tuned in, but PhD ain't said nothing like that. Did the elders misguide us, just teach us what they know.
I said earlier that it's contextual. That someone, obviously, they've been on road since they were young, so that's all they know, and obviously that's all they're gonna have to say to someone who asks them about life, innit? That's literally all they've lived their whole lives. But then,
Steve Reed.
like other elders who have managed to
Make it out.
make out the hood and see life for what it really is, can advise the youth to do the same thing, innit? Tell them that life is not just the hood and that you need to come out your comfort zone and see, like explore life. There's more to life than just the road and girls from the hood and shit like that. Do you get me? So yeah, man, it's not about who you meet. You know? Everyone's different.
It's true.
Some people are gonna advise you well, other people are gonna give you bad advice. So
That's not even only in the hood, that's just in life in general, fam.
so you need to be smart yourself. You need to be able to tell the difference between what's good and what's bad, and what's gonna benefit you and what's not. Yeah, man.
Say no more. So before we wrap up, yeah, just to go back to the kid, fam. So say if you were to meet that troubled kid that's there thinking, oh, should I go on the roads? Should I go to school? Should I da-da-da? What would you tell them? Let's start with A, fam.
Go on, say that. Go on, say it.
So if you were to meet a kid that was in that situation where he was deciding between, oh, should I go legit? Should I go road? What advice would you give him? What would you tell him?
To be honest, it's not really about the advice you give, it's more the message you send through your actions, do you know what I'm saying? So, and it also depends on who the kid is looking at, who he's influencing. So obviously people do blame the orders a lot. Fair enough, I understand, because they do follow by example, but also it's the kid's responsibility to look elsewhere. Do you know what I mean? So they could be looking up to, like, for example,
Biggest drug dealer in the city.
biggest drug dealer in the city, or someone who's making a life for themselves. Like, for example, someone studying medicine, someone studying, you know what I'm saying, a good course in uni, who's trying to go somewhere, or someone's trying to build himself up in a different way, so not always for education. Like, someone who's trying to do something positive, do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's also the kid's kind of responsibility to find that role model as well, because like, it's easy to blame the person who's on the road, and
That's
then
the easiest thing to do.
and they do influence people, they do have an influence 100%, but it's also your responsibility as well to understand that, look, at the end of the day, this is on me, I have to find something which will benefit not only
But at
myself.
the same time, say if the kid lives in the ends, that's all he sees around, isn't it? You can't choose what he sees.
enough,
You know what I mean?
It's way harder.
Like, if he's in the ends and he just sees hella
That's
people
all
doing
the drug
this shit, you know what I
dealers.
mean? Around, like, that's all not all he knows, but that's all he's accustomed to at that point.
Honestly, in my opinion, yeah, it's all about perspective.
Sticky
Especially
situation.
now with social media, you can see other stuff. Like, you're not just in the ends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's very good.
You're not just in the ends. Like, so for you to be saying, oh, that's all they know, that's all.
But that's all over screen, and that
But-
social media is all over screen. Like,
Yeah, but you
that's
can
not
still
Still real life, innit?
But you can still go out there. You can go.
But is it real life?
places.
Social media ain't real life.
You can go different places, innit? You know what I'm saying?
Certain
Like,
extent.
But that's kids, though. We're talking about kids, teenagers.
I'm even saying on socials, you can see other people that made out of the world or like successful black businessmen. That could open your mind up.
You have to go for that. You have to go out of your way to find that shit. The stuff that you see in that's put in front of you.
Because how are you gonna look for something you don't know about? You're only gonna be able to research stuff that you don't know.
I think for that there has to be like more youth clubs in the ends. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like, if there's more youth clubs and that, of course these.
Yeah, Boris piling up, bro.
You know what I mean? These
I heard you man were reducing their funding. Fuck with that, man. They need more funding.
That's what I'm saying.
Use all the future, man. Gotta take care of them.
So
yeah,
nuts. Well, personally, I think we're so far off what's right. Like, it's like, you know, when, let's say, it's a dumb example, but let's say you're cooking something, and
J-Rice, which one though? Nigerian or Ghanaian?
whatever, let's pick J-Rice.
Nigerian or Ghanaian, those on the
Let's pick J-Rice, and you're 90% down there, you put 90% of the ingredients.
It's
They're
definitely
cooked, but you've messed it up so much that there's no way back. I feel like that's the situation we're in right now.
Are you saying there's no hope?
There is hope, but it's
Just focus on yourself, basically.
not even, but I feel like there's only so much we could do, because even if I do want to
It's
advise,
more personal for me.
even if I do want to advise the youth to do well and that, the thing is, the way society is set up is that it's being set up in a way that glamorizes those things.
Exactly. Music.
Exactly. So naturally, the kids are going to be inclined to want that instead of what's good, because the bad stuff is promoted more and it seems more glorious.
Especially when it's easier to attain.
Exactly.
And
So,
the longer route.
so naturally, even if he's a good person, even if he's in the middle, naturally he's going to be inclined to do that, because that person seems to have more than the person who went towards the right path. So that's what I'm saying. It's so hard to advise someone to do good. It's all about their heart at the end of the day.
And now, Carl, let me just touch up on your
deal to
So yeah, I know I do say obviously your responsibility to obviously hold
At
yourself.
the end of the day, it is though.
But yeah, it's true, it is, isn't it? But also, what he made a good point as well. It's environment does play a part. You know what I'm saying? So it's true. Even if you're a good person, you're doing this, you're on bits, you're gonna be somewhat influenced by environment anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? So it does. What he's saying does make sense.
You're going to be tempted to do bad stuff. Man.
Yeah.
So no matter how good you are, you're always going to be tempted to do bad things. And if your will is strong enough, you're going to end up going for it. Because
So no, I do agree. It's gonna, even if you do resist it, it's still gonna affect you. So, like, it's still gonna have some sort of effect on you. Do you know what I'm saying? And if you're constantly in that place, it will slowly but surely chip away at you. Where, do you know what I'm saying?
You're just going to end up frustrated, innit? Because you're seeing all these men doing bad things and doing well while you're doing good, and it's not really paying off. But it's not paying off because that's just the world we live in, innit? It's been set up in a way that.
Well, it will pay off, but it will take time. It will take
Exactly.
time.
But I think they have that these, the stubborn teenagers talking about. I think like the older has to like first tell them why he's doing this shit. Because a lot of them don't have qualifications, etc. So even if they wanted to get a 9 to 5, they can't. So just tell him that shit. Tell him all the consequences. Look at
Yeah, 100%. I feel like a lot of the olders only show the good, the women, the flashy
look at
lips.
all the consequences.
Tell them
Bro,
about
if
your
you
time.
get caught with anything, you're doing minimum 5, 10 years, etc.
You really want to do that time?
If you take the libs route, get decent GCSEs, do your BTEC at A levels, go get a nice lynch job.
It's not even
You
just
won't have no one get back.
not even just education. Also education, but also apprenticeship.
Exactly.
Or even your own thing,
A
like your
business.
business.
Exactly. There's so much.
That's what they don't tell you. Like those people make more money than drug dealers in general. Only a few drug dealers really
Only a few
a
make
lot.
dumb money. That's
These are
facts.
the mafia types, man.
Exactly. And
Facts.
even if
Do
you
your
make
research, man.
even if you make that much money, are you really gonna be able to sleep peacefully at night?
And how long would that money last for?
Chip
That's
over
what I
your shoulder.
understand.
If
It may
we're
last for a
defending
good
chip
few
on your
years.
shoulder,
It may last for a good few years, but in the long run, can you afford to, when you start, for example, having a family yourself, or
you
going
even
for
get a mortgage from
and you know what I'm saying? Like, what can you do? How long will that money last for? And what can you do with that money really and truly?
Yeah. At the end of the day, you need to know why you want that money, because like you could have all the money in the world, but if you always constantly have to watch behind your back and this and that, you're never really gonna be like able to enjoy it.
If there's a kick your door down
You're
any
literally a
time.
target.
Exactly.
Because you can't keep that money in the bank.
Facts.
But you're constantly on your toes.
PTSD, you can't sleep, it's crazy. But me personally, what advice I'll give that kid is basically, you know what I'm saying, listen to this podcast 2, 3, 4 times back to back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, from what you guys said, there are two sides to the coin. That's why personally, I don't really judge no one on what they choose to do, whether they go legit or illegal, because I understand the pressures, the influences from both sides. But at the end of the day, always think long term, innit? Like long term, which was gonna pay me, and see both sides of it. The good with the bad. Like my boy S said with drug dealing, the good with the bad with legit, and then weigh it and see what works for you. That's my advice. But that's man, talk to them.
I said my point earlier, bro.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys, that's the end of the podcast. Comment down below any other topics you want us to cover. Like, comment, subscribe, road to 1K.
Run that up.
Got a lit giveaway at 1K, stay posted. But yeah, we're out. Incognito Podcast.